You're learning blues, you know the chord progression for a 12-bar blues, you know the common shapes of chords, for example like an A7, a D7 and a E7. But now we want to know a little bit more how chords you can add to give a little bit more, a different flavor on the harmony. So stay with me because today we're going to talk about some chords that you can use that you add a little bit of spice when you're playing blues. Hey guys, I'm Everton Zaquini. And blues is one of my favorite genres of music, and it's really important for you to learn at least a little bit of this genre. Many genres came after the blues. For example, rock, jazz, funk, all these genres have the influence of blues. So in this lesson, what I want to show you is how you can add different chords for you to play on blues, and that you can add a different sound and that you can play around with these chords when playing. But before I start, remember that your subscription is really important to help me to keep creating content for you. Ring the bell to get notification of these videos that I'm posting every week. So to start the lesson, let's do a quick review about the chord progression for a 12-bar blues with quick change. We're going to use three chords: the first degree, the fourth degree, and the fifth degree. Let's see this example in the key of A. So the first degree of this key will be A7, the fourth degree D7, and the fifth degree will be E7. In a 12-bar blues with quick change, we're going to play the chord A7 at the first bar, D7 on the second bar, the next two bars A7, then we move to D7 on the bars 5 and 6, come back to A7 on the 7 and 8. Then we play 9 and 10 E and D7, then 11 A and 12 E. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a common 12-bar blues. Usually when you first start to learn blues, it's very common people learn this shape of chords, this A7 here, this D7, and this E7. So what we're going to do is to get the different chords. So I just play the chord progression with these common chords, but if you notice, I start to add little things here in the chords. So let's see these chords for you to apply when you're playing. The first chord that you're going to see will be a half diminished chord or a minor 7 flat 5 chord, and we're going to apply over a A7 chord. That's the common chord, so what we're going to do is to use a C sharp minor 7 flat 5 chord over this A7. So this is the shape, C sharp minor 7 flat 5. I use a bar here with my finger 1. Some people will play finger 1, 2, 3, and 4. I use the bar because sometimes I use finger 4, and I show you that in a sec. We're going to start to play blues with this chord. Now, we're going to use the same shape, this shape of minor 7 chord flat 5, and we're going to move to D. So we're going to play here on fret 9, and then move back here to fret 4. Then let's move the same shape, just move your hand fret 11, then to fret 9, then to fret 4. When you play this half diminished chord over the dominant chords from the blues, we just starting the chords from the third and add a 9. So here I have an A7. Now what I'm going to do is to get from the third of A7, C sharp, and play the chord here. So here I have the third, the 7th, the 9th, and the 5th. The next chord will be a D7. So what I'm going to do is to use the same shape. I'm starting from the third again. So I have the D here. What I get from the third? I have the F sharp minor, which is the third. Then I have C, which is the 7th. Then I have here the 9, which is E. And then I have the 5th, which is A. And the same idea here, getting from the third of E. So basically we can use just one shape. I will play quickly the 12 bar blues here for you to see how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the first idea that you can apply. You can use the same shape. Another tip here is that you can get these shapes here and use these shapes on string 4. That's the shapes. So you play A7, D7, A7, D7 with the slide. E7, D7, A7, E7. One thing that I like to do over these chords here, and that's why I do the bar here, I use my finger 4 to get this note here. So you can add this note to play around when you're playing the groove of the blues. Now, I have the A7, this is the 7th, and this is the 13th. So that's what I'm going to do. The chord here and the 13. Basically it's a A7, 9, 13. Alright, this is the first idea that we can use and use this half diminished chord. This is the chord that we're going to spend more time today to talk about. Now another approach that you can use chords to play blues is to get it just in one region instead of you just moving your hand throughout the fretboard. Here I have this shape of A7 on fret 10. Then here I have the D7 that you saw before. Now come back to A7. Now E7, D7, E7 and E7, finished on A7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's add more spice on the A7 chord. The first time that I saw these chords was Robin Ford when he was playing, showing some chords for blues. We're going to see in a different shape, in a different place that would be easier for you to play. The first time that I saw it was these chords here. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get in this region as well. Okay? Now we're going to use another diminished chord, but we have a specific moment to use. It's going to be an A7, the chord, but the shape will be G minor 7 flat 5. That's the chord. Fret 10. So this A7, and we're going to use this diminished. Now, when we use this chord here over the A7 chord, basically what we're going to do is to have what we call an altered chord for A7. We're going to have the minor 9 and the minor 13. When we use this half diminished chord over the dominant chord, now this chord has a very specific one for us to use it. Basically what we're going to do is the A7 chord, D7, then A7 again. Now, before we move to D7, we're going to do this chord and come back to D7 and come back to A7 normal, E7, A7, D7, and A7. Now I'm going to play for you to see when I apply this chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. I particularly like this chord, especially this movement between A7 to D7. So you have this. The chord creates some tension and some chromatism. Now for you to see how it sounds, I will play with a backing track for you to visualize, and in this way try to visualize these chords that I will be using, that I just taught you how to do, and this way you can practice as well. Use a backing track, or the best one, play with others, play with your friends or in a band, and this way you can apply these ideas when you're playing. If you like this video, hit the like, share with your friends, leave a comment. I want to know from you what you think about blues, if you like blues, and what you think about these chords applied in blues. Thanks for watching, see you next time.